In chapter 1822, the plot takes a surprising twist as Serenity's mysterious ailment is unveiled. She awakens with a sore body and realizes that she must have been deliberately drugged or calculated by someone. She concludes that her husband Zachary must have unknowingly been her antidote, explaining the physical discomfort she experienced. However, she decides not to discuss this matter with Grandma May and instead plans to talk to Zachary when he returns home. Meanwhile, at the York Corporation, Zachary is working in his office when he receives a rare visit from his cousin Andrew. Zachary, always direct and practical, cuts to the chase and asks Andrew if he needs something. Andrew, who typically maintains a low profile, rarely visits Zachary at work, leading him to suspect that his cousin is seeking a favor. However, Andrew quickly dismisses any suspicions of a personal interest in his visit. He clarifies that it's not about his feelings for Elisa. Instead, it's Mrs. Stone who has sought his help. Remy is deeply in love with Elisa and wishes to marry her. But Elisa's reputation in Wiltspoon is less than stellar, and her admiration for Zachary remains a topic of discussion in town. Andrew explains that Mrs. Stone approached him with an unusual request. She asked him to pretend to have feelings for Elisa, believing that this would push Remy into quitting. Andrew is hesitant about this plan as he fears it may backfire. He shares his concerns with Zachary, explaining that he doesn't want to manipulate her feelings or be drawn into a complicated love triangle. He worries that if Elisa were to genuinely develop feelings for him, it would create an emotional mess. Zachary listens attentively to Andrew's dilemma, understanding the precarious situation his cousin finds himself in. He also acknowledges the persistent matchmaking efforts of Mrs. Stone, who seems determined to ensure Elisa's happiness. However, Zachary expresses his doubts about intervening in this matter, especially if it involves manipulating Elisa's emotions. Andrew seeks Zachary's advice and even proposes that Zachary speak to Mrs. Stone directly to dissuade her from pursuing this plan. Zachary agrees to consider the request but remains cautious about becoming entangled in a situation that could lead to unexpected consequences.